Jen Boyce, and I'm your mindset mentor and motivator. What you feed your mind and you believe before you, you will see come to play into your life. If you believe it, you will see it. And I'm here to talk to you today about trust the voice within. Instinct and intuition. It is so powerful. And I first want to start by saying, you know what? God is the word of truth, and he breathed life into us. Energy is all around. It's the one thing that cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So side tangent, if you're ever worried about passing on or someone passing on, just remember, they aren't actually leaving. They are transforming. And that's the beauty of energy and the beauty of life. It's forever evolving. And so are you. So am I. We're all evolving as we go. And the Holy Spirit within us is the voice of truth. And that is our instinct and our intuition. That energy was put inside of us, not to question, but to guide us. And energy is a feeling. You can feel it through your body. So you always know when you're in alignment with a choice or a decision. And there's something near and dear to my heart, and that's always when you look at a rear view mirror versus the windshield in front of you, why is the rear view mirror smaller? Because it's behind you. It's in the past. It's not meant to be relived or driven backwards. You're meant to go forward. You have a whole window ahead of you. And how do you know where you're going or what you're doing? You need to be guided by what feels good and what feels right to you. And you need to really trust yourself. Because if we become a product of other people's opinions or thoughts, what's the point of having our own? We are what we think and what we believe. What we do comes to fold in our lives. We see it play out before us. And if other people are coming in here dictating us about how we should act, be, say, think, feel, or do, we're not even listening to our instincts. We're not even giving ourselves a chance to make a decision, to take a leap of faith, to do what feels good or feels right to us. We're living the lives of other people. We have our own journey. We have our own calling. I just posted about this. We all have our own calling, and it's nobody else's business because it wasn't a conference call. We were called to do great things for ourselves. People come into our life for a reason or a season. Not everybody's meant to stay. Sometimes once they're fulfilled their purpose, it's time to let them go. Everything is a lesson, good and bad. There is always a reason for everything. Some people find opportunities and difficulties, and some people find opportunities in difficulties. I'd rather be the latter of the two. And when it comes back to trusting ourselves, like I was mentioning, if other people are interjecting their own opinions or values upon us, that's either their insecurities, their projections, their own biases, their jealousy, their envy. And some of these people aren't even real and true to themselves. They're putting up a facade, this fake version of themselves to the world. A man can only withhold one face to himself and one face to a multitude for a prolonged period of time before it all collapses and he unveils his true colors. There's a beautiful quote just about the organs. And you know those big church kind of pianos with the organs and the pipes? Well, it's like the pipes are laid out there hollowly and pompously for a show, but they don't actually have a purpose. Their true purpose is actually concealed. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're concealing who they really are, and they're putting a face out to the multitude. And is that an example that you want to follow? Do you want to follow somebody that's not being real and true to themselves, and you want to fall victim to believing what they have in their life and to following that example? Or do you want to look deep within you? You know, I always, before I go and do anything, if you don't know, don't do it. Your body is always going to tell you whether something is right or wrong. And it happens for anything. If you want to buy that new dress, you want to go clothes shopping, you want to buy that vehicle. If you're sitting there humming and hawing, you're on the fence and you really don't know and you're back and forth, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I always say, and I truly believe, and I've always lived by this, if you don't know, don't do it. When you truly know, and your body knows, and your intuition knows, you go for it. You do it because you know. Whenever you're questioning yourself, right there is your energy, your intuition, and the Holy Spirit within you, the quiet voice. The devil will always speak louder. And the truth and our instinct and God will always be very quiet because he wants to know if we're listening. He wants to know if we're trusting. Not trusting only him, but ourselves, because he lives within us. And we need to be able to trust who we are. And we need to be able to make those decisions for ourselves. It's like with a career. Should I quit my job? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? If you don't know, don't do it. You're not ready. You're not ready to leave yet. It's not the right time. Otherwise, you would know. That's why it takes us so long to make that decision, to put in our resignation, to make that big purchase. But it's like a first-time home buyer. You know when it's the right home. That relationship. Should I leave them? Should I go back? Should I leave them? Should I go back? If you're trying to wonder if you should leave them, no, then it's not time. If you're wondering, there's still more fight in you. Give it a shot. Keep going. It's not time to up and leave. There's unfinished business. You haven't given in your all yet. I've been there. And I knew when it was time to step out and go. And I'm still great friends with some of these exes of mine. Hi, Gary. But, and then it's like, should I go back? Should I go back? Should I go back? Again, rear view mirror, windshield ahead. And if you're humming high, do I, don't I, do I, don't I, do I go back, do I not? The answer is no. You already know. You trusted your intuition. You know it wasn't meant for you. That season is over and come to pass. It's time to move forward. Am I supposed to sell my house? I don't know. Should I sell it? Should I stay? Should I move? Should I not? Should I move? Should I not? Should I go to university? Should I move to go to this university or shouldn't I? Should I stay in province? Should I leave? If you really don't know, then it's not time to do that. There's something in your heart that's stopping you and blocking you, and you can feel it in your body. And when you wake up in the morning, or the people you're surrounded yourself with, the situations you're involved in, the opportunities you have, if your pilot light is just barely lit inside of you, and it doesn't make you want to jump out of bed in the morning, it doesn't excite you, it doesn't put a smile on your face, it doesn't make you jovial and want to laugh, it doesn't make you feel alive, then it's really not serving you. And I've learned this the hard way over and over and over again. And our comfort zone is the most dangerous zone to stay in, because that's the zone where dreams go to die. Our comfort zone is going to keep us comfortable for the rest of our life, and then we're going to look back wondering, have we even lived it all? And I'd rather go out with a blaze knowing that I did everything under the sun that was true to me and I followed what my body felt was good, than to sit there laying on the road dead, just coasting through life and looking back saying, what if? I never want to look back and say, what if? And I never want to choose the devil, There's a beautiful analogy about that black door. Look it up. It's the firing line, the firing squad analogy. A man's being sentenced to his death. And it's a life sentence. Obviously, he's going to be killed. And the guy that's put the sentence on him is giving him one last option before he goes. And he says you could choose option A. You can go before the firing squad, or you could choose option B and go through that black door. And he chose the known. He chose the comfort. He went for the firing squad. So he gets shot down. And then the assistant beside him says, well, what was behind the black door? Do you know what the answer was? Freedom. And I bet you what went through that guy's head before he chose the firing line was like this feeling. And you can feel it in your body, like this feeling of electric fire. It feels hot. It feels uncomfortable. It feels a little bit weird and wrong, and your heart kind of palpitates, and your neck or your throat gets a little bit like thicker. It feels like something's in there. You get a little bit of anxiety, and you're not sure and you're uncertain, and then you make that choice, and that's when you know it was the wrong one. You just missed out on everything that was laying before you because you didn't trust your instinct and intuition. And how do you do that? You need to be able to get silent with yourself. You need to be able to ask yourself the tough questions. You need to feel it. Your head and your heart are always going to argue. Your logic center is going to try and reason with you. It's going to try and talk you out of things. The enemy gets through you through the airwaves, through the things you listen to, through the things you see. He tries to control your mind. Every good opportunity that comes your way, just remember, all the good that God puts before you, the enemy comes and puts something negative there. It puts a decoy, and the decoy is always louder to try and throw you off course. So you have to get quiet with yourself. Ask yourself those tough questions. Your heart isn't going to lead you astray. You're going to know when something feels good or bad. If you get the EBGBs about something, that's your body telling you no. If you get fired up and excited and like smiling and warm, you know. If you have to question anything, you already have your answer. Get quiet with yourself. Ask the tough questions is number one. Think before you leave. And if you're really unsure and you can't tell between your intuition, your instinct or intuition, and your fears and anxieties, I used to struggle with that a lot. I wasn't sure. That happened to me with flying all the time. I'm like, is this my instinct telling me not to go, or is this my fear and anxiety, right? Write a pros and cons list. Get practical about it. I've done that all the time. When we're emotionally involved in a situation, it's a lot more difficult for us to make a level-headed and clear decision. But when we're outside the situation, it's plain as day to see. So if you need to get logical about it, write it down. And your answer will unfold before you. There's been rare moments in time where I've had pros and cons on each side that were even. And it only you know what? It's only actually happened to me once. It's always been very much pro or very much con. And then I run it by like a trusted person and they're like, okay, you have duplicates here, or you're justifying this here. And then it kind of balances it out. And then also, number 3, what I want you to do, I want you to write down what's most important to you. I want you to write down what the most important things to you in your life are. Your goals, your dreams, in business, in success, in family, in relationships, in ambition, in just bucket list items. I want you to write those down. And I want you to ask yourself if you're on track right now to where you want to go. And feel it. What do you need to release that's holding you back? Where do you need to move forward? Where do you need to kill that baby cow that's blocking the train coming down the track? I had to kill my baby cow years ago. That was gaming. Shot that cow dead, and now I see more success. Get rid of toxic people, see more success. End that relationship, see more success. Leave that job, see more success. We're constantly moving forward and constantly evolving, but if we stay in the same place, we're never going to grow. And the growth comes from within us. So where that pilot light is, always fuel it with things that light that fire on the inside of you, that light your life up, that light your intuition. Don't fall victim to distractions. Don't fall victim to other people, their opinions. Be who you truly are. Be true to yourself. Don't put on an act and don't be fake about it. Because at the end of the day, everyone's putting a face onto the world, and social media is just a toxic place, a web of lies that makes everything look glamorous and gold when it's not really. The happiest people on the internet are usually the ones that are the most broken inside. So always trust who you are, what you believe in, what you want to do, where you see yourself going, and surround yourself with people that keep your pilot light lit. Trust your intuition. Get quiet with yourself. What feels right, proceed. What feels anxious or you're not sure about, leave behind. And I promise you'll feel so much lighter in the end. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Keep the channel going. And I might be rebranding soon or doing a little side tangent because we need some real talk up in here. Who agrees? Much love to all of you, all my friends. And yeah, I appreciate all the subs because remember, that makes me know that I'm doing a good job, that my content is great, and that I'm providing value for you. Pass it on. Help keep the channel going. Have a beautiful weekend. Woo! Go win at life.